Hi everyone, welcome to the next video from this series from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. Right in the middle of a row today. Let's have a little look. Got quite a spiky looking flower, I think. There were actually some really nice looking spiky flowers in Johanna's new book that I noticed when she did her quick thumb through. I haven't seen the proper flip through yet, so maybe I might think differently about them once I can properly see them, if you know what I mean. But to my eye, when she did her thumb through, I thought they looked spiky and fun. Right, I have picked my colour while I was waffling on. I've decided the dark red might be fun, really sort of vivid red colour that we haven't really used yet. And I'm going to do it for the base of these. So just in there and just extending out a bit like that. So I'm going to bring another colour in to finish off the tips, so I don't need to go all the way to the end. I need to try and fade it. If you do end up going all the way to the end, it doesn't matter, it will just work fine. You don't need to worry if it's too tricky, or you can just block it in with this dark colour. That would be really intense and will probably look very striking. There we go. I keep thinking I should be doing something else instead of sitting here. I can hear my husband next door. He's having a good sort out of, he's got a few storage boxes around his desk with his art things and he's sorting them out. It was quite funny because I helped pull, me and my son pulled them out for him because he's got a really sore elbow at the moment. So we said, look, we'll pull them out so you don't hurt yourself, and then you can, have a sort out. And I'm trying to decide whether to go pinky red, like sort of alizarin crimson, or whether to go towards the lighter reds, like the deep red. I think I'll go deep red. Yes, I can hear him doing sorting and rummaging, and I feel like I should be helping, but I don't think he really wants help. He wants to look through it on his own. So that's okay, but I did say we would help him put them back or move things downstairs, or there's some storage space downstairs that some of it can go in, that's some of the things that he doesn't use very often. So that needs to be, there's that can be done. And I don't think he should be carrying things up and downstairs. He was struggling enough with the shopping bags this morning, but insisting on doing them. And then got very sore. He's not sure what it is. I said he needs to speak to the doctor. He's probably going to be due to go and see the doctor soonish. He's had a few tests and things. He's got one coming up on Saturday. So I should think he'll have to go and see the doctor for the results of that. So once he's there, if I go with him, I might mention it. Yes, green. Which green goes with red? I think most greens do. Now I'm thinking that, I was firstly thinking, oh, the phthalo greens, they go really well. But then if I put a phthalo green with a red, my mind thinks Christmas, and then I can just put a green gold in the back and we've got a Christmas flower. We could do that, but I don't really, it's August. So let's try this. I don't think I've ever tried this colour with red, and we can play with it a little bit. Let's have some fun with the earth green. Now the earth green is quite like a light grey green, I think, and it can be quite interesting. I find it goes nicely with reds and pinks and things. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to pop some here and here, just try and make it quite intense in that small space. And then with these, yeah, I think I'll colour them in this sort of segmented way. So I'm going to make the base of each of these little sections a bit more intense, and then less as I come up like that. I'm going to, do that for each section. Like that, and we'll just continue our way up the leaf. Now, how am I doing that? Well, I'm just putting more layers here. You can see I'm going over and over as I come here. not so much. Like that. And then it looks like this bottom bit is a bit darker. And I just think it is a little bit more interesting than just colouring it all flat in one colour or going from base to tip, dark here, light here, or the other way around. It's just a different thing to do. And it's something that I've just started doing quite recently, and I think it might be because I'm not sure if Johanna's been drawing leaves like this for that long. You know, this is the good thing I was saying the other day about how it'd be exciting to see how Johanna's style has changed in her new floral book compared with Secret Garden and World of Flowers. But also, you know, our colouring changes according to how she draws, and just changes in the way. This is juniper green, so that's going to be interesting. What I'm going to do with the juniper green is to enhance those darker areas a little bit. Just lay it up a bit, and it will just introduce an extra dark layer like that. Go. Now, here comes the bit where we can add a bit of excitement. I know. Sit down, relax, take a few breaths. I'm going back to my deep red. What am I going to do with it? Well, put a little bit on the leaves. So on the very tip where it's lighter, just going to gently, very gently, put on a little bit of red. Now, if you look carefully at leaves, they quite often have a little bit of red on. So I don't think it looks completely unnatural, but the way I'm colouring it, it needs a bit of help. I'm going to go back to my juniper green, and I'm actually going to colour over, earth green. I'm going to colour over what I've done. So what I'm going to do is just redo that whole section with my darker bit at the bottom, lighter at the top, and just hope that it won't blend, because that's not how Polychromos work, but it will put a layer of green on top, which will just help it to look like it's part of the flower plant a bit more, rather than being just sort of put on top, hopefully. There we go. And now I've got to think of a background. Well, we haven't done an orange background yet, but I'm not sure about that. We haven't done much in the way of brown. I am gonna try. Is that gonna work? No. I think the bistre is going to be quite a good brown for the background, but I'm not going to put it on too hard. I'm going to give it a sharpen, and then it's quite gentle. I don't want it to be very heavy layer. Nice and gently. Just working it gently in between all the elements, and not worrying too much about it at the minute, because it's just our initial layer. Just enjoy the process of putting down a light layer onto the paper, and then I'll have a little look. I think I want another layer about the same intensity, just so that it shows up a little bit more. It's really interesting how much like a cut twig tree trunk this colour looks. I don't know if it's because it's a round shape that's making me think of that. But I often think we don't have a beige, so I'm going around the edge of our items now in a darker colour, like we have on the others. Yeah, often I think I don't really have a beige in this set, and although this is not, I wouldn't say it was beige, it's pretty close if one used gently. That's quite an interesting discovery. Keep going around all the elements. You don't have to do this. You might decide that it's not something you want to do. I felt it helped them stand out from some of the backgrounds, where the backgrounds were a similar intensity to the foreground, and so it just needed a little bit of help. Okay, now where the leaves overlap, I want to put a little bit of shadow in. I could use the juniper green, but I think I might be better off using the dark sepia, so it's really obvious that it's shadow rather than just a bit of darker leaf, because I've already got quite a lot of juniper green anyway. So here's the dark sepia, and we're just going to go around this bit here, there, and around here, just so that we can see that this leaf is in front of these two. We don't need to do anything like that with the petals because they're all separate. But what I have just noticed is I've got a little bit down here that looks a bit white. I just need to go over. There we go. But I think I am happy with that. So it's a little red flower. I'm looking at it thinking, I feel like it needs something, like some yellow dots or on the flower, or some white dots or something. We have done dots on a few. I think it does need some dots. Oh. My pen's run away from me. It's my white. I'm going to do some dots. Now usually when I use white pen, I like to use it on every element in the picture. So on the page, I mean. So if it's a page like this where we've got these 30 separate elements, I would want to use it on every 30 in one way or another. But I'm trying to get past that because none of the others need it. I mean, we've done a bit early on some of them because they did. And I feel like that has really, really lifted the page. It just looked very plain before. And although this one looks plain, because we've got more of a graduation of colour, I just feel like that plainness works and this plainness didn't. I can't explain it, but I'm happier with it now. So that's the main thing. So it's up to you. You can put those in. You can make them yellow as I suggested. I don't have a yellow in here with me. I've got a yellow Posca next door. I haven't got it here. But white, I don't know if you would really see the difference between yellow and white in such a small picture anyway. But there we are. So that is another little one done. So thank you for watching today. Then tomorrow's are absolutely adorable. So I think whatever colour they are, they're going to just look cute. That's going to be fun. So do pop along tomorrow, have a little look, see what I do with them. Maybe have a guess. What would you do? What colour would you use for those? I have already decided what I'm using, so I'll be interested to see what you will do. Anyway, have a super day. Thank you for watching and happy colouring.